Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Thursday tutorial time. So tonight we are going to be looking at caged beads and looking at how we incorporate that into memory wire bracelets. Hello Deb, hello Gemma. And this is also a really nice way of using up perhaps your slightly imperfect beads because they will be encased. And be sure, if you are watching it sort of live-ish, then I've got a number of strands that are slightly imperfect gemstones that are real bargain prices as well. So this is one of the bracelets that I've made. Last week we looked at basic memory wire bracelets and also how to use the tubes as well with them. We've got a few more joining. Hello Carol and Carol. Hello Francis. Hello Nikki. Hello Sue. Hope you're all well. Would love to know how many of you have actually worked with doing caged beads, and if you have, what sort of projects have you done? I was trying to work out in my own mind whether or not we could do a caged bead with a wire wrap ring. So it's a work in progress. But if anybody else has done it, do let me know. I just, I'm not going to lie, it was a bit tricky. Wasn't happy with the results, but I'm not giving up. So Sue hasn't done cage beads yet. Hello Linda, hello Kim. Oh, bear with me. Not made cage beads before. Well, let's go on the overhead and just talk you through. I wondered where we were at then. That's my hair. She probably gathered. Right, so where are you? This is the bracelet that I made. So I've done some part cage beads already, but I'm going to take you through the process. So this is ultimately what we end up with, and then we go from there to actually making it into a caged bead. So I've done a number of them. Now these are like some of the beads that are actually in the thread. So you've got your rose quartz, you've also got your, gosh, what was that one? Calcite, I think that was. My computer keeps coming up with annoying little messages, so bear with me, it's distracting me. So Carol's made a caged beaded bracelet before, and Francis did a workshop with me and made an anklet. Hello Betsy, lovely that you could join. Now normally with beads up to sort of about 12-14 millimeter, you're using 0.8 millimeter thick wire, and you measure roughly an inch per millimeter. So for example, I'm working with an 8 millimeter bead, so I'm cutting 8 inches of 0.8 wire. Now it doesn't always work as you get bigger, and I struggle to make really large caged beads, I'm not going to lie. So if anybody has come up with a way of doing that, just going to try to zoom in a little bit more. There we go. So we're going to make the caged beads first, and then we're going to look at putting the bracelet together with the memory wire. So first of all, we are going to turn a loop. I'm flicking everything everywhere with your round nose pliers. So we're going to turn a loop at the end until it touches the other side, like so. Top tip that somebody else gave to me, you'd think, well, I don't understand how that would work, but it really does, is once you've done a loop, get your cutters in there and just cut the end part off and then re-loop it, and that just helps you to get a more distinct loop. So we're going to loop both ends. It has been absolutely hammering down with rain today. Does anybody have the sunshine? And if you do, send a bit our way. Hello, Meg. Right, just going to do the same there. Not doing very well here. There we go. And don't forget, we've got our auction next week. My delivery arrived today. So I'm like a kid in a candy shop, looking at all the delights. And there's lots of nice things. Lots of lovely things for everyone. So, I'm not actually talking you through this at all, am I? So what we're doing is we're grabbing with our chain nose pliers and loop round. Grab and loop. So you're creating a bit like a snail. And what I do is I do that one side and the other until they meet. Now I always like to just give it a bit of a tweak at the end. If you want it even smaller, then you could just pinch it a little bit more, and round we go. The first part is the most difficult part. So cover that loop with your pliers, hold your pliers, and with your non-dominant hand bring it round. Now I've had a lot of people that I've taught that find that it just won't go. So clamp and bring it round. Small movements. And don't hack at the wire, because if you hack at the wire, what you'll do, especially if it's silver plate, is you will take the surface plate off. So if you're concerned about that, what you can always do to protect it is you could always put a little bit of masking tape on the end of your pliers. I think there's something called wire protect as well, that you can actually put a coat on top of your pliers that peels off. Never used it myself. So it reminds me of an 80s tape recorder. And then for those of you that have watched before, we transform into some Madonna boobies. Yes. Again in the 80s. So I'm not joking. So we're going to flip that over so that they're opposite. Like so. Alright? And now for the Madonna boobies. So, with your round nose pliers, pop the middle on the top and gently push down. I say Madonna boobies because does everybody remember in the 80s those awful like cone things that she had? Very bizarre. Sorry, the way my mind works, it's not good, is it? So, we now have Madonna boobies from tape recorder. Okay? So, Nikki has sunshine in Cheshire. Please send some our way. Deb has lots of sunshine and she'll send some though. Deb is some very sunny pastures, very lucky. Tricia has a sunny day in the Scottish borders. Francis, it will work its way along the M4, sunny here at the moment. Deb does remember. And Kim saw her live with her cone boobies. Well, you just couldn't miss them, could you? Oh, John Paul Gaultier designed them. Well, you could call this the John Paul Gaultier inspired caged beads. There you go. Right, so here's our little cage bead. Probably not the best colour, is it? Because you can't actually see it. Now, bit of a tip. Now, one thing I struggled with is actually, when it's inside, is actually getting the memory wire through the hole. Hope that makes sense. So what you might want to do is get a spare bit of wire and just pop that like so on one end, and then I'm just going to bend it in half like a clamshell, just slowly. And there you have your caged bead. Okay, so I'm going to keep that on that little bit of metal there because I think it's going to be a lot easier. Now let's do a few more just so that we've got a recap. So this time, have I done all the 10? Yes, I've done all the 10 mil. Let's do another 6 mil. So no, 8 mil, sorry, so that's 8 inches. Anybody joining with him? What on earth is she on about? Nothing new there. Right, so we turn in a loop. I've cut 8 inches. 8mm bead equals 8 inches, and we're just going to cut that down and re-loop that. Sorry, I keep making sure I'm actually showing you what I'm doing, because that's the problem. When you get close up, it doesn't leave you with a very wide space to work with. Now, Betsy said the sun's out there, but it will take a while to get there. I'm sure it will. Betsy's actually in the States. I bet it's lovely. Right, so we are clamping and circling. Now, you could, I guess, use 0.7mm wire. I wouldn't use anything less, because what will happen is your caged bead will just collapse. You could use 1mm, but again, you've got a problem the other way, is that it would be quite hard on your hands, quite stiff to do. But do have a look if you're watching, you know, the live, either over the next couple of days, is the fact that there's the gemstone, slightly imperfect gemstone beads that you can use for this, that are around sort of £1.40 for an 8-inch strand, and they are glorious, glorious colours. And A, it saves wastage, and B, you're not going to see it. Now on this one, I've actually coiled them opposite anyway, so it matters not, as long as the end result is the same. If you want to, you can just turn it with your fingers if you feel a bit more comfortable. Oh gosh, Nikki says they're getting snow in Canada today. Oh, I feel a bit warmer now. But then we never know, do we? It's so random here, isn't it? Now you can always hammer it if you want to make it a little bit more solid. So we're going to go from there. Do you know what? I can't even remember which one I was on now. Anyway. So Madonna Booby transformation. So I like to just gently guide each one down. Now I'll tell you what gave me the inspiration to do this on memory wire bracelets is Frances Watkins and I and her daughter Zara, we went to a detash sale, a local detash sale last week. We were in an absolute element, and this lady was selling some jewellery that was already pre-made, and Frances bought a gorgeous bracelet that had got caged beads on it, and it just gave me a bit of a light bulb moment. And I thought, you know what, after we've done the memory wire, that will be just another angle for us to look at. So That's where I got the inspiration from. Whoops, right, if you find that it comes out of shape like that, then just put it back to where it was, because what you can end up with is a few lumps and bumps along the way. Okay, so let's just open that out a bit more. Does help if you actually put it in the right bit. And I'm putting it on the wire just simply so that it is easier to find the hole. There we go. So we've got 2 little cage beads. Now I'm going to put the other beads together. Where's my little bit of wire so I can put that on ready? No, those are 10mm, 8mm. Right, so the 10mm, I've done 10 inches. Deb's already bagged some of the imperfect beads, and you've chosen some very nice ones, Deb. Kim said that she has Naples in Florida on her weather app, and it's 30 over there. Very nice too. And Nikki says they had snow in Canada until June last year. That's really unfortunate, isn't it? Right, so where's the hole? So again, I'm working with imperfect beads. And you can just rearrange those as well, just so that you close it up. There we go. So that's one of the 10mm. Let's do the other 10mm. It's just nice and gentle. Obviously you can make these into pendants, you could make them into single drop earrings as well. Now I'm pretty sure I have got a tutorial on YouTube that's got part caged beads as well. How are we doing for time? Oh, we've got plenty of time. We could probably have a look at that as well. So how many have I got? I keep forgetting that. Next stage. Ooh, Linda's making an Easter wreath tonight. Look forward to seeing that, Linda. Right, so I just pop my nail in the middle and just create like a hinge. Oops. And then you just go through the hole at the end. Oh, I've made quite a few actually. I thought I'd made more. So this is what you could do. You could always roll them out, you know, and then just put them all together all at once. Hello Jackie, thank you for joining. Deb says she uses needle and thread inside a scrap wire. Once I've made them, then I take it out after I've put them on the wire. Good shout. I like that idea. Right, so let's fold that over. So for those of you that are just joining, I'm just popping this on a wire. This is just a temporary wire, just so that it's easier to actually pop it onto my memory wire bracelet afterwards. So you can see the colours a bit more when I pick it up. So I might as well make use of what I've done and see if I can remember how to make part caged beads. Whoops. Now you can go down. Now this one's a 6mm bead. You'd cut 6 inches for that, and I think you'd struggle to make much of an impact with anything smaller than that. I suppose what you could always try is you could always try thinner wire, but I don't know if it would maintain its shape. So I'm using calcite and I'm using rose quartz. So we're doing a pink and lemon bead combo. Whoops. Sorry, I'm fiddling. I can't get it on there. I must have put a kink in my wire somewhere, so I'm going to pop it on the other end. And then you'll be able to see that it's actually not that easy when you lose the hole. Right, let's open that back up again. Got there eventually. Okay, so we've got ourselves a nice little selection of beads. Now I think what we'll do, if I can remember, now the question is, can I remember? So I'm going to form a loop one end. This might go horribly wrong, by the way. So formed a loop one end, rather large loop actually. Form a loop the other, and then we're going to go round, 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 just underneath, like so. And then we're going to go halfway across and make a wire wrap over the top of that one. So that's the other thing you can do, but the thing is with that one is you won't be able to actually attach that onto your memory wire bracelet. Make super earrings though. And what you could also do with that is you could always have that as a dangle on the end of your memory wire. If I make a smaller one, let's try it with the 6mm. So make a small, tiny loop one end. So we just do a small loop one end, so it's almost like a head pin. and give it a squeeze. Pop on a small bead. Do a wire wrap loop. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a loop. Hope you can see. Bringing that round. I'm going to clamp that loop so that I don't mark it, and just keep bringing the wires so they sit underneath each other. And I'm just winding this the other end. Hopefully you can see that okay. Whoops. So Deb says she uses a second wrap for lots of earrings. So I thought we could attach that on the end of the memory wire bracelet. So I'll just do another one because I think that one's a bit too long. Make nice earrings though. I'm not sure how much wire. Let's just cut like 6 inches to begin with. So we'll just do a tiny loop at the end, and then we've got plenty of time to make up our memory wire bracelet. I'm going to squeeze that at the end. And then try and get your loops the same size if you can. Leave about a millimetre gap between the bead and your round nose pliers. I take that off, secure it with my chain nose pliers. Oh, excellent. So Sue has had her delivery today from me. So she's all set for doing her memory wire. Now I've just gone over the top of that at the bottom, but obviously you could just do less loops if you wish. So I'm going to use those for decoration on the end of the memory wire. So let's pop some of these beads out. So the beads that I've got to use today is I've got some size, let's just move along a bit, some size 6 silver metallic seed beads, check seed beads. These, I'm not using the green one, but I'm using the black and the yellow. They are glass beads that are like malachite. Those are in the thread as well. I've also got some other seed beads as well. So I'm going to turn a loop first of all until it touches the side. So I've got some of these little hollow beads as well. I think we've still got a few of the etched ones left. I've got check size 10 in like a yellow pearl, and pink pearl in size 8. So I have no idea what pattern I'm going to use. So let's just see where it takes us, shall we? Let's open up some of these. I'm in a bit of a mess here, aren't I? Let's move some of this rubbish out the way. just thought these were lovely spring, happy spring colours. I can't believe the schools break up tomorrow already. So I'm going to pop a few of those on. And some of these yellow beads. I tend to use about 3 coils. Take up a lot of beads, don't they? Memory wire. Which is why also the cage beads are quite good, because they're going to fill quite a few bits and pieces, aren't they? Oh, missed one. Now, I don't know whether they're going to fit. They might look absolutely terrible. But I've got these little elephants that I thought I'd pop on there as well. Oh, they're kind of cute. Right. But let me know what projects you're all working on at the moment, and have you got any plans for Easter? Do you know what? I haven't even given it a thought at all. It's just seemed to have crept upon us quite quickly. Oh, well, that wasn't meant to happen. Yes, peace will be shattered. Does that mean some of you are on grandparent duties as well as parental duties? Right. What should we put on next? Let's have... Oh, I managed to get the hole straight off the wire. So that's rather... So Deb's got lots of wrapping to do. I've missed it whilst my wrist was healing. Oh yes, of course. Kim has just finished a spiral necklace, and she's now finishing off a daisy necklace and bracelet. Oh, Kim has Crazy Daisy, which is, oh, she's a super cute dog. And you have a fun day at our church on Easter Sunday. Fab. I think we've got an Easter egg hunt this weekend for the children. And we're doing a jewellery sale to raise some money as well. So we've been busy. Right, I think we'll put one of these in now. Jackie has been making Tree of Life sun catchers. Fantastic. Was that from one of the kits, Jackie? Right, let's just show you where we're at. Not sure I'm liking the elephant, but you know, it's okay. I'm going to put the pink one in now. The only thing I struggle with sometimes with some of the coloured howlite is the kind of marks on them, but I guess as well that's the beauty of them, isn't it? As we said, it's not all about perfection, is it? Right, I think we're going to need one of the pink. Right, let's put the lemon one in first, particularly as it's the first one there. There we go. But I think because they take up so many beads, I think seed beads are a really great way of actually making up your memory wire bracelets. Nikki says her grandkids are homeschooled and she normally does the art and craft. Fantastic. Now that is a brave family, homeschooling. Oh, I couldn't cope with that. I love them dearly, but no, I couldn't cope with that. I wouldn't know what to teach them either. They'd be great at jewellery making. Not sure about everything else. Right, I thought we'd incorporate, but I think those caged beads just really set it off nicely, don't they? This is totally random, by the way. You've never guess, would you? Never guess. It's very relaxing though. Oops. Right, let's get another cage bead in there. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. Lots of stuff available online and groups that meet up together. Right, so there we go. Maybe it's because I don't wear yellow. I'm not loving these. I'm sorry. I'm not loving this combination, but you know, when you've invested, you just got to go with it, haven't you? I like, maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe. But, you know, nonetheless, it's the principle we're looking at here is, you know, just to give you some inspiration. Let's go for, do you reckon a hot pink one? No, I don't reckon a hot pink one. It'll just completely obliterate all the other colours, won't it? Right, let's put one of these in. So yesterday for my art group, I've been making more cabochons, watercoloured cabochons, and I thought that I'd do a tree of life, and I've made these little birds, painted these little birds and put them in the picture. But I'm going to make more so that I can put them in more bead embroidery. So when I get a bit more confident with my painting, perhaps if anybody wants to do a bit of a paint along and make their own cabochons, maybe that's something we could do sometime. I think let's go for another yellow one, shall we? Another yellow elephant. Deb says it's not her colours either, but it looks fab. Thank you. I think, do you know, that's what I love about doing sun catchers as well, and other housey things, is I can get to do things that I wouldn't wear. Does that make sense? I get to use colours that I wouldn't invariably wear, because there's lots of colours that I love, but I wouldn't necessarily wear them. Like amber. I love amber colours. Let's put some more of these in. Oh, we're getting some thumbs up for the paint along. I find it ever so relaxing. And what I love about the art group is, I mean, there's quite occasionally there's a couple of people from art group that watch the lives, but what I love about the art group is we have got such a range of artists, and I don't class myself as a real artist, you know, I'm just learning, but they don't make you feel like that. They make you all feel part of a group, and it's so supportive, and I'm very much like that sort of thing in crafting, and I like that in our groups as well, because it's very much, it doesn't matter what stage people are at with their beading journey, is it's all important that well, the most important thing I think is that you enjoy it and support each other as well. And the art group's just like that. I love it. It's my zone out time. Hello Emma, don't worry. You can watch it back on replay if you know, if you want to. It's not a problem at all. I think we are up to about 96 tutorials on YouTube now. So, you know, if you're looking for a bit of inspiration, don't forget that you can use the YouTubes as a little bit of inspiration. There's everything and anything on there, from macrame to wire work to bead embroidery, kumihimo, lots of basic beading on there as well. Last week's, I think I just said that, last week's is on. Right, have we nearly done? We've nearly done 3 coils. Are any, I know Nikki, you're a painter, aren't you? But does anybody else sort of dabble in any artwork? Would love to know. Right, so where did we finish off with that? Do we indulge in another one? I think we'll indulge in another caged bead. This is a total pocket full of randomness. I'm not going to lie, I'd probably take it all apart and start again afterwards. But anyway, anyway, it really is not one of my favourites. But the idea is there, look, so you can see how your caged beads actually work in there as well. Frozen. I dabble in lots of crafts. You do lots of wonderful crafts, Trisha. Right, I'm hoping that I haven't frozen on everybody's computer. Carol says I'm frozen. Deb says only paint by numbers, but it's all painting, isn't it? Right, now, recommendation, in case you didn't see the last one, use memory wire cutters because they'll just ruin your best cutters, or use an old pair of cutters. So I'm going to turn a loop. Like so. And these that I made earlier, let me just show you what I meant by that. Open that up, pop that on there. It's tough stuff. Oh yes, Kim's just reminded me there was a paint along watercolour with Matthew Palmer on Create and Craft. That's how I got back into my artwork actually, Kim. Really enjoyed it, and what I loved about the watercolour with Matthew is the fact that you could achieve a really nice picture in quite a short space of time. I like that. Right, so we have the little ends, your caged beads, you've got seed beads combined in there, your caged. Now that pink is picked up by the pink in it. I'm not going to lie, I am going to take that apart. It's not singing to me, and I don't mind being honest with you because I think it's good to be honest, don't you? Because it's a way of learning, and what I've learned is that that's not singing. And don't you think things have to really sing to you, don't they? They have to sing to you to feel right. And it might be for someone, and it's not a wasted in terms of, you know, the tutorial is giving you the idea. Now that sings to me. I love the colours on that one. So take from it what you will as to how to use the cage beads, how to make them, how to use them in memory wire, and also a learning curve as to if it doesn't sing to you, take it apart. You've lost nothing. I've made all the caged beads so I can actually redo the caged. I don't need to redo the caged beads, but I can redo the bracelet. So what I will do is, once I've remade it, I will post it in our beaders group so that you can actually see what I made with those particular caged beads. But yeah, I love that one. These beads were in the thread. I think some of the blue ones are in there as well. So I hope you have enjoyed it and picked up some hints and tips along the way. I've sloped down in my chair, haven't I? I was getting a bit too comfy there, wasn't I? I hope you've enjoyed it, and if I don't see you before, I will see you on Monday, because our news and announcements is now on a Monday, and hopefully I'll find my feet and we'll get a set time every week. But I was just finding Sundays are so busy. I don't know about all of you, but I have lots on a Sunday. But anyway, do keep posting in Beaders of Beads by Vachil, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye.